Hello from Constance Bay, Ottawa, Ontario, Zone 5A. It is Sunday, August 28th, 2022, the last full weekend in August here in Ottawa, and it's just been a gorgeous weekend. You know you're getting old when you think the summer just began, and here we are, the last weekend of the summer. There's one full week of summer holidays for the kids, and then it's back to school after the long weekend next weekend. Anyways, here's a look down the beach. Kind of looks tropical or subtropical, but here we are up in Ottawa in Canada, where we get pretty cold winters. Before we begin the backyard tour, I'll just give you a peek of the balcony, some vegetables and some palms up there. We've got a couple of majesty palms and then peppers and tomatoes and things. So down here in the backyard, we'll take a look first at the Trachycarpus fortunei, or Chinese windmill palm. It was purchased in the spring and was planted in the ground right away. Still got some stressed out leaves from when it was at the nursery or being transported here to Canada, but it's doing really well. You can see lots of new fronds have grown and really healthy, and it really looks good in this spot. So looking forward to next year. And here we have a pygmy date palm, and this is in a pot. It goes in for the winter. I'm still stressed out a bit from coming outside, and maybe we were too quick putting it in the sun. It's a bad habit of mine because I just love to see the palms in the yard and start them too early. Moving along, I have a small potted pineapple plant here, and it's got some wave petunias growing in with it. Wave petunias just go everywhere here in this yard. And here's my giant white bird of paradise. And you can see it's probably at least 12, maybe 14 feet tall now, and doing really well. It's got a new leaf coming out, and if you saw back in a few of my other videos, I was showing the leaf development, and it took over a month for a leaf to fully develop. So another one coming though, so that'll be good. And there's the jungle garden, and over here we have a small giant bird of paradise. It has made a really good recovery since it was having problems earlier. And here's my Musa Bajou, the one beside the shed, and planted that in the ground this spring, and it's doing okay. It's many people have much bigger ones, but this one's doing well. It's got about 4 pups. There's a tiny one there in the back, and there's a few others around, as well as the 2 larger pups. Although it's not the biggest Musa Bajou around, it adds a really tropical flair to the yard. And here's a bigger one over here, just outside the gate. It also has about 4, maybe 5 pups with it. And this one's, although it's not a lot taller, it's got a lot more leaves and a little bit more lush looking. So this one's doing well too. As we move over to the right of the shed, we see some younger Mexican fan palms, as well as one Trachycarpus fortunei. And then here's my Strelitzia reginae. It's experiencing a lot of sun damage, again, from bringing it out too quickly. And then my Mexican fan palm that's still in the pot in the ground, and it's actually doing really well. Probably even better. I've got another one, bought 2 at the same time, and it's doing probably better than the one I planted in the ground, which is a little surprising, but maybe just a better spot in the yard. And here's my established Mexican fan palm. It spent the winter in the ground here in Ottawa. Zone 5A, as I said, with winter protection, of course, rigid insulation with Christmas lights, C9, and it's doing really well. It had a bit of sun damage again earlier on, but you can see all the fronds are very green and lush and healthy looking. Just over here, you can see my Adam's needle yucca, and then a dracena in front here. And back here, you can see a young pineapple plant and then a small majesty palm. Here's another little pineapple in a pot, and over beside it is my other Mexican fan palm that's planted in the ground, and it's doing well. This is the one I bought at the same time as the one that's in the pot, and so it's not quite as big as the other one, but it's doing very well too, and I just showed you a shot of the small Trachycarpus fortunei with it. Getting away from that garden, you can see another dracena. This is the mother dracena, the one that young one came from. Kind of jumped off and rerooted itself. It's kind of neat. As we move away from that garden over to the deck, you can see here I have a Yucca Gigante, and we planted some wave petunias in there about, I don't know, 3 weeks to a month ago, and they just went crazy. And here's my little a Majesty Palm here, and then my little nursery of mostly Mexican fan palms. Framing the stairs, we have two more Yucca Gigantes or Yucca Spikes, and they're much smaller, less trunk anyways, the more fronds, I guess. Looking over the fence to our huge retaining wall, you can see I've got Majesty Palm down there, and over here is a hibiscus tree, and lots of wave petunias around. And there's another hibiscus tree there. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. And you can see also daylilies and another Majesty Palm here, as well as petunias all over the place as well. And that's the way we come up from the beach or down to the beach. And there's the view down the beach. It's about a kilometer and a half down to the point there. And here are some these are some Mexican fan palms that I grew from seed this year. They're all doing really well. They kind of like being shaded by the wave petunias, and there's one of my last year's Mexican fan palms. Moving along in this garden, you can just see the really thick wave petunias. They take over, and here we have a larger pineapple plant, which I'm going to sell probably, as well as some more Mexican fan palms. Over here in the corner is an interesting plant. It's a castor bean plant. We planted it from seed earlier in the summer and just went crazy. And here's all my wife's wave petunias and her Wigelia bushes and rose bushes. And then I've back to some more Mexican fan palms. This one's in a pot. And over here, the next one is planted in the ground. And it's really grown well. They're all from last year's seeds. And then there's another one behind in the pot as well. Moving away from the garden and over to the stamped concrete deck, you can see I've got two larger Majesty Palms here in larger pots. And again, these come in for the winter. They can't handle winters here, as far as I know anyways. And then I've got a little hibiscus tree there, and I can't remember what these plants are called, but out here I've got my last Musa Bajou. And this one is a sucker that didn't grow very well, but it's starting to take off now, but no pups at all. Later in the day, we're looking out off the balcony of the Ottawa River, and I'll show you up what's on the balcony. So we've got some pepper plants here. Not sure what that is, but then I've got a Majesty Palm and a little sago palm, which I just got this week. And over on the other side, we've got just some lettuce and tomatoes, and then we've got a couple more Majesty Palms up here. Some are doing well, and some aren't doing that great. But anyways, you can see we get a great view here, and here's a view of the backyard from up top. The pool's covered, but there's the Trachycarpus fortunei planted in the grass in the ground, and there's the pygmy date palm, and the other Majesty Palms, and the garden with the wave petunias and etc. And there's my Mexican fan palm garden. Tiki heads, and I make those tiki heads and sell some of them. And there's our bird feeder and the Musa Bajou, and that's about it.